Hello everyone, SwitchW here. In this video, I'm going to talk about that something has been happened recently, and this topic has been an international news. And I'm going to talk about Rakim Myers, aka ASAP Rocky. Rocky has been a little bit, how I say, in a bad weather recently. You may not understand. You may not heard about this, but since he's a rapper from the United States of America, and let's see, I'm gonna talk more about, well, at least what happened. But if you don't has even heard about what happened, I will make sure about that in a basic. I will explain what's going on and how Rocky ended up in this particular international problem. In July 2019, he was in Sweden, in Stockholm, capital, to appear on his concert on his tour. But shortly after this, he was arrested. He was arrested probably because of mistreatment, and he has been, he's been arrested for accused of assault, which took place on June the 30th, and his time has been extended to July 25th of this year, justifiable his escape danger. And that is not all. After that he became arrested, people has wondered why there even had been actually been caught on surveillance cameras at the time when this happened. I was not much unaware about this happened. I don't even live in the capital myself, so the only information I have based on is what I heard from different news sources like newspapers, or even news on online sort of things. And I'm not much info rap music myself, but I don't judge for people based on the music. No. But nevertheless, after this event happened, he was put in jail. Not in jail, but more as just arrest. And let's say that even some time after, President Donald Trump had tweeted his support to releasing Rocky. And also says here, Trump has offered, let's say, he has been talking to the Swedish Prime Minister about getting him out, or any sort of ultimate there. He had even offered Swedish Prime Minister to personally bail Rocky out. But here is the question for so many. But here's the thing: not many knows about this, but the Prime Minister of Sweden had actually declined all of his offer. And you may ask why. Well, you see, Sweden doesn't have the same bail system as they have in the United States, where they can place on someone on bail and release on the foot. But here, we don't have the same base of the system. The person remains in prison, or at least in custody, until the trial. And now, the trial has started against Rocky. I haven't even followed yet. And even some of his family has traveled to be there with him as support. And even if that, Trump, for example, he had even mentioned that he wants to help Rocky back from as he after that this prime minister had made his announcement about that even he did want to try to help, that Trump's offered to pay for the Rocky's bail to get him out. But since Sweden doesn't have that system, he couldn't not do anything. And even Trump wants to make sure that that the prime minister can try to help to some bargaining with the so that Rocky can get released from the custody. But unfortunately, as in from this moment, well, for always, either Swedish prime minister cannot do anything. Ever since the Rocky is in custody, the prime minister of Sweden has no authority to do anything to intervene or interfere with the justice system here in Sweden. No one can even no one can interfere. None of the Swedish government can't interfere with this political system, with the justice system. And from what I heard, that Trump wasn't even happy about that answer. But he had to understand, none of the politicians or no one in the government cannot interfere in the justice system. Would that be as much as justice if the prime minister said, even if the judge says that Rocky will be guilty, and if that is justice, or even Rocky is found guilty, I don't know what to say from much that, but if he is found guilty, and even if the prime minister, he can't overrule that. I mean, there is much we can say about. I don't know much about the political system or justice system here in Sweden, but that is some of the basic from my understanding, at least. I know that there are probably many fans. I don't know exactly how many of my viewers who is listening to A$AP Rocky's music. I don't know, but I'm not saying that I don't think he is. That we don't have to put him in jail for what he did, but there is evidence during this, well, from witness and even from the civilians' cameras recordings. So at least from that is some evidence. But from what I heard, it isn't much that we can do about it. Even if that Trump wanted to bail out Rocky from custody, but he can't because Sweden doesn't have that kind of system. But I understand from his view that he wants the help of fellow Americans from in trouble. And I understand his admiration to help any Americans, in particular, even if there's a celebrity or a civilian people. But he has to at least. But he had to honor, has respect each country's own based on justice system. No one cannot interfere with that. Like if there was opposite, if there was some sort of Swedish singer who had been doing the same but in the United States, that is the thing. Trump could not interfere in that trial either. So why would he be so upset that he can't help Rocky? But you have to at least understand the justice system, it can't be so very complicated. But I was very stunned when I first heard about this news about Rocky has been in this particular mess. In this assault, as there is so many things that has been going on, even if that Sweden has been affected recently, only some time after Rocky was in custody, there has been some bomb threats against the Swedish embassy in Washington because of as a protest against the treatment of Rocky in custody. I will say, people can take that as a serious threat. But if you are a very strong listener to, or at least a follower to Rocky's music, don't take that as a very strict measures. I mean, what is the meaning? What would that lead up to? Only that yourself can end up in jail for some time if you make that kind of serious as a threat. And especially when Swedish people hasn't had nothing to do with this. This happened between Rocky after a concert, and from what I understand, there were some people who want to talk to him or something, or at least follow him. At least that's what I believe, from what I heard. And I do say, this particular topic about Rocky over the news, it has been very much overwhelming. I don't know how much about his fans is feeling about this, but he has been in this kind of problem he has been arrested at least time before. He served at least a short time at Rikers Island for illegal drug dealing, but that was in 2004. But this, I can understand that the Swedish Prime Minister wants this to be settled, and let the justice system take its own course, to listen to all the witnesses and go for all the forensics data they had collected over the years, and even hearing from himself. Even that if Rocky is found guilty, I don't know exactly how long term he will end up serving. If he was sentenced to a year, I don't know. But even if let's say from this, even if the person, like American, who is committed for a crime, like a murder here in Sweden, and I think if he would end up in jail for life, which isn't life at all. The longest time in Swedish prisoners' lifetime is actually from between 18 to 20 years. Sweden doesn't have that kind of system as back in the United States where you can sit for life. That means literally for life. You can be sentenced to 3 or perhaps even 900 years in prison. But here in Sweden, only max to 20 or perhaps even 30 years or so. I was baffled when I heard about Rocky's event when he took place in this assault. I mean, I heard so many stories and news about that many celebrities have end up in a fight with some others, or end up in some time in jail or something. But this was actually one of the first times I actually heard American celebrity in a fight in Sweden. Well, for at least a long time as I can remember. But for what Rocky did, doesn't even give him the right to assault anyone. Even if he's found not guilty, I don't know. Only time can tell soon, because as right now, the trial is going on. So, but I can't say for sure when this trial is going to end, or what the outcome it will be. Even if he is, let's say if he's found guilty, how would it affect his record? Well, except from that he's only spent in jail for 2 weeks, but nonetheless, Well, you see, not all the celebrities out there in the world is clean. There are even so many different celebrities within the movie business, music, has been doing drugs but during their early years, or someone has been hard time to stop drinking, but or others are just to end up in fights. So this is part of this. That is many celebrities has been doing the same thing, like end up in fights with some of the celebrities or in perhaps in public. But for record, I believe that even if that he is found guilty and he had to stand, he can still be serving time in the United States. Even if he's probably sentenced to maybe 5 years, or perhaps let's say if they would want to be 2 or 5 years in jail, he can still be transferred and that he serve his time in the United States. I'm just not saying that I'm not much against rock itself, because I don't even listen to his music. Not that I don't like him. It's just that rap music is not part of my favorite style to listen to. I had actually listened to some rap music in the past, but it never really gets stuck to me as my type of music. But I actually respect other people's music styles or what they likes to. We all have our own different styles of music. All I'm saying. I'm just happy. I just hope that this trial won't affect Rocky's career as a rapper. Even if that he's probably going to be, even if he's found not guilty, we can only wait to see what happens. But for the record, not all the celebrities has been stopped, quit to be as a celebrity. Because over the many years, many celebrities has been doing some bad things like doing drugs, being an alcoholist, or anything like being a fight, an assault, something, but sort of things. But otherwise, I don't think much about this. First, when I heard about this news, I was really surprised. But I just hope to all of his fans and other followers to Rocky that all of these things is getting settled. I just hope that all of this is worked out, and just saying that. That is all I'm going to say about in this particular topic. And thanks for listening. And to any of Rocky's fans out there who is perhaps one of those who follow my new stories and who is a fan of Rocky, I'm sorry to hear about what happened to him. To be honest, I didn't expect anything about this happened. But at least we know for sure that no matter what happens, his fans will still be there, listen to him, and support him. That is all he can ask for right now. So, anyways, that is all I want to say. So, and yeah, but subscribe, leave a comment, and as always, this is SwitchW over and out.